Alright, so today I decided to show you what my self-care routine looks like, or self-love routine looks like. This looks like your ordinary workout video. Someone showing up, just showing you a workout. But honestly, I'm actually trying to tap into my body. I am trying to connect my body with my current state of belief. It's basically, I'm trying to create a positive self-belief system after having a negative one that was wreaking havoc on my nervous system to the point where my life was physically reflecting that. Showing signs of PCOS. That to me was a huge scare just because it was something I've never heard of growing up. PCOS deals with things that, at least in my experience, my hormones were out of whack is the best way I can say it. And a lot of times I felt very indifferent with my body. I was constantly beating myself up rather than trying to love myself through the challenges that we were going through. With fitness, I've always used it as a mask to make myself feel better. It wasn't until my recent stint with HIIT did I realize that I can definitely have the physique that I want, but to work on my mental state, that has to be outside of the gym. That began my journey on really getting to know who I am inside, who I speak to within myself. Like, how am I my friend? My thought process, even though in my mind's eye, I'm always optimistic and always looking for a way through, I actually did not have a very nice self-talk whenever I dealt with stressful situations. And it's those situations where I was blinded by how abusive I was to my recovery. I have been trying to find a way to heal from whatever this is I thought I was healing from. At first, I thought it was a fault of mine, and then it graduated to something is wrong with me, I can't change it. The only thing I can say that I find relief in my healing is just showing up for myself. Every morning I wake up and I'm just like, how are we going to set our intentions for today? Just going with the flow can yield good results, and I call those luck, or they can yield bad results, which when I say bad, I mean you're just constantly going down a rabbit hole of how much you suck, and that's not fun. I've realized with my healing, creating a routine that aligns with your future self and what she looks like makes room for habit to promote space for her to show up rather than the hurt ones that we are trying to heal from. Creating an identity is showing up, telling yourself, what would it look like if you actually cared about your process, cared about yourself and every cell, as if you were talking to someone that you love so much, and this is the younger version of them. For me, it's my children. Through my healing journey, I've made a lot of mistakes that were said in stressful situations. But it was that mindfulness, that awareness that I knew that my words mattered and that my actions need to link up with my words. I started to realize the weight of that. I realized I wanted to hold space and responsibility for that, as well as hold myself accountable. To do that for your children and not experience that yourself, the battle that you deal with is incredible. Just in my experience, having my kids be the reason why I build towards the best version of myself is because I didn't want to wake up and say I didn't try. That's a very hard thing to do for the rest of your life when you think about it in that extent. So I had to stop putting so much pressure and just focus on what I could handle. Showing up every day, bit by bit, is the best way for me right now. You become a trainer for the life that you want to have. And I didn't realize that I actually had full control to really manifest a life without suffering. That I could have an identity without backing it with something that's yucky. And this is what this looks like. Throughout this whole time I've been working out, I was in my head about how my body should look like if I'm gonna wear these clothes. The thing is, I chose those pants specifically and that shirt specifically because I told myself that this is my stage and I can show up however I want because there's no audience. Knowing that I'm going to be posting this really scared the freak out of me. So here you can see me holding my belly, which is literally my solar plexus, and it was just connecting with my mother wound that is right in front of me, which is my stomach. This is what I'm trying to heal from. Without going into further detail, just keeping on pace, this is meditation for me, strength training in fitness. I utilize the practices, the movements, and the balance to actually figure out what is it that I need so that I can translate this into my everyday actions and thought processes. It's the best way for me to understand how I can navigate setbacks. It's also a way for me to understand how I can let go of things if it doesn't serve me. And it also lets me know that with practice and consistency and showing up for yourself, you are actually building the best version of yourself. I also understand that when you do need stillness, there's a lot to learn from there. And it's about unconditional love, literally showing up for yourself in ways that other people didn't, or when you needed it. And the thing is, that's really hard because you're pulling from a blank slate. And that's where you have to get creative and you pull from inspiration from wherever something just lights your heart up. And when you go, oh, man, I wish I could be like that, or man, I wish I had that. You can. That is the wish, the awareness. The awareness is the wish. Inhabit that wish as if it was energy ready to manifest into your life as this is you. My whole MO is always about peace in my body. I've been subjected to body dysmorphia growing up by those that I thought cared about me, and then I became the person who was self-sabotaging myself. I'm a personal trainer, wellness coach for women, as well as a birth doula. And here I am trying to basically build myself up to be the best coach that I can be so that I can start helping women like myself. We can bridge the gap of trying to beat ourselves up and just focus on showing up for ourselves because someone's watching.